Who you gonna call?
Mythbusters.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
So we're excited that for over 30 years, we've been able to come alongside you to not only sell, buy, and invest in real estate, but really come alongside you to build your faith, your fun, your finances, even your fitness. And in this segment, we're primarily going to focus on wise wealth building strategies, along with who can you flourish in relationship with that can guide you on the journey. So we're going to discover, how do you select a team? We've been talking about the guide, about the guides and who you need. In segment B, we really chatted a lot about who they are.
Right.
Now we're saying, how do you figure out who they should be?
Well, first of all, you need to start with one or two.
Get one.
Yeah. Ask for a referral from people that you know are doing what you're doing.
Right.
See if they have people in their team that they highly recommend, not like they did an okay job. No, this person, you're nuts if you don't use them.
Right.
That kind of referral.
Well, one of our clients was just saying to me the other day, and I think he shared the story with me 5 or 6 times now. So every time I talk to him, he reminds me of what happened when he called his insurance broker. And so it's a family that we helped like 30 years ago. We've helped many of the family members, and he was making a change again and buying a property, and possibly we're going to be selling. We're still in the decision making whether he keeps it as an investment or as a respite property for others. Or anyway, we're in the dialogue around investment or sell. And he said to me, when I was talking to this insurance broker, I said to him, if you have anybody that's buying anything or selling anything, if it's real estate, if it's used car, don't call them. But if it's anything to do with real estate, commercial even, because Ken's a specialist there, or residential or investment, call the Deckers. Like if you don't call someone on the Decker team, just call them. I promise you, he said, it's going to go well for you. And every time I talk to him, which is a lot right now because he's in a transition period, he reminds me of that story. I go, thank you. Like I so appreciate it. But that's how important it is to him. So somebody with that kind of connection to the service provider they've had, that's who you want. So you need to get your first guide. Because the beauty is you don't actually have to get all of them on your own. You just got to get the first one, and only choose the first one if the person that's introducing them to you is sold out.
Yeah, and you still don't have to choose them.
No.
You need to interview them. Right? Because there's certain questions you want to ask, especially if you're talking investment, of a guide. Like, are they investors? What have they invested in? How many properties do they own?
How did it go?
How did it go? Exactly. Do they own a personal residence? Whether it's a mortgage broker, the tax accountant, the realtor, whatever it is, you want to make sure they're doing what you want to do, because then they're going to have, if not expertise, they at least have experience.
Well, doesn't experience often lead to expertise?
It does.
Because one of the questions that I suggest that they ask is, how has it gone? How have your investments worked out? What is the variety of investments that you've had? Which failures have you had? Because we can attest to that certainly early on, we had some really not good things, and we've shared that openly because that's part of the learning. If it's only gone well, probably
you miss some of the learning.
Exactly. So the learning can come through the hardship. So it's not to say that they have a perfect track record. That's actually probably not who you're looking for. You're looking for someone that has had a few bumps and bruises along the way. Or if they haven't, they can tell you where they learned the strategy that they're asking you to employ. They've learned it from someone else, because I love that many of the experiences that we've learned from have been somebody else's. not our own experience. So it doesn't mean they have to have all the bumps and bruises. They need to have some level of personal engagement with it.
Right.
And that is even your handyman. You really do want, like even your construction guy, because they suggest different things to do in a house if they themselves have owned investment property.
Yep.
Something so simple.
For sure. And, if you don't know where to begin, the way to begin is send an email to together@deckerteam.com. It makes you part of our community. We'll start communicating with you via email, and you get to ask us. Like if you're looking for an expert in a certain area, you can ask our advice. We're not saying that may be the person you end up choosing, but way better to choose from a couple people that have referred you than to, I was going to say open the yellow pages. They don't really exist anymore.
No, but
go
even
on to Google and Google, because you may be getting the person that pays the most in advertising, not necessarily the person that's the best for you.
Right. The person that ranks the highest on Google rankings, that's who shows up probably. And that may not be somebody that shares your values, that has the experience, that has the knowledge, that has the ability to align with what's up for you and what you want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know if that helps. And then once you get one or two that are on your team and they're solid, then ask them, who am I missing on my team? Who do you know that I should know? John Maxwell taught us that question, right? Who do you know that I should know? And then reach out to that person.
Right. And again, interview. Like, don't just take their word for it. Ask them the questions we've already suggested. And if you want our interview questions, we have them all written out. So when you email us together@deckerteam.com saying, I want to be part of the community, you can also say, can you send me the interview questions? Because we would love to do that. It gives you a guideline. One question will lead to another question. You're going to ask more than what's on our list, but it starts you down a path so that you're selecting that first guide in a foolproof manner. Simple and foolproof.
Yeah, many people don't interview because they don't feel comfortable asking the questions because they don't know what questions to ask. So there is nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, it is phenomenal if somebody comes to us even and says, hey, Ken and Yetta, I've got these 8 questions. I would love to sit down with you for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, and ask you these questions. Being prepared like that tells us so much about you.
Yeah,
that
that's pretty cool.
You're a person we want to be involved with.
It's true. And if you're saying, I don't even know what questions to ask, well, we'll send you that list. And then we have the answers for us on that sheet. But even and then there's a blank sheet where you can ask someone else those questions if you feel you need to go through the interview process more than once. A lot of times people then resonate and they go, I don't want to interview anybody else. And that's cool. But you get the chance.
So that list is for realtors, for interviewing realtors.
I have the other one too.
Just let us know who or what you want to interview.
Yeah.
So that's helpful. We even have interview questions that will knock your socks off for employees. Fun ones that they go, huh? What? Nobody's ever asked me that before.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. So remember, go back to the previous section if you need to know who should be on your team.
Right.
This section's about how to get them on your team. And also remember that cheap does not mean best.
Ooh, value matters.
Yeah, frequently the best people on our team charge a little extra because they are the best and they are experienced.
So you get more return.
Yeah. If you go in to do your hair, do you want the junior stylist or the advanced colorist stylist?
Exactly.
You pay a little more.
Right.
But your hair comes out the way you want it typically.
Right. So decide what you want to accomplish, then get the right people on your team and ask them for recommendations.
Yep. We're grateful that you joined us on Life's Inside Track because together, as we move forward, we've got this.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.